Hi, it's Wayne from TC Electronics and Marine. What I'm trying to do is just quickly show you how to take this unit apart. Okay, this is the water pump shaft here, yoke shaft there. I believe the part is called a water pump yoke shaft. Not sure what the assembly is called, with the bearing retainer and the gear. At any rate, just to take off the nut here, sometimes you have to heat that with a torch, and you'd be using a tool like this. If you require this tool, it's number 9460, and in the end there we just put a 3/4 inch to 1/2 inch is what we're using. There we go. And okay, and that pretty much takes this nut off. So I mean, if you have a 3/4 inch torque wrench or whatever, something with 24 inches or so, it's got to be fairly long to get yourself to take this nut off. It can be on there pretty good. Again though, you have to heat it up with a torch normally to break the Loctite that's in there. There's usually blue or red Loctite inside. So once you've done that, you simply thread this off till it comes up off the threads. Okay, and what we're going to be using is we're going to use this nut to hold the bearing to take it off with. So in our case, we're using an old water pump shaft that I got, but basically all you need is a piece of tubing, and I'll do a measurement on it. So the tubing, the inside diameter needs to be, this is a 1/2 inch here. Okay, so it needs to be a little bit larger, like, you know, if you could drill it 17/64, something like that, just a little bit larger than a 1/2 inch. And normally if you drill it a 1/2 inch, it'll probably go a little larger anyway. But the outside of the unit needs to be around 7 3/4 inches. This is 781. So 1/2 inch on the inside and 3/4 on the outside for a piece of tubing. You just slip this over, and I'm gonna put the camera down and just set up on the press, and you can see the results. So we're using a 20-ton press here, and what we're going to do is we're going to slip this piece over there like so, and put a spacer in here, and like that. And we're going to just press this down in the middle. It really doesn't take a lot, and it will first of all, we're going to press it out of the gear first. So the first thing that happens is it comes out of the gear and pushes it down. Okay, so basically the shaft drops down until the bearing hits the edge here. And then we're going to need to put a spacer in here. I just put the spacer in there so I don't have to pump the hydraulic cylinder all the way down by hand. This is just a low price hydraulic. It's around $179, $139 on sale at Princess Auto in Canada. It's available from various places in the US as well. Harbor Freight carries it in the United States. Okay, so line it all up, tension it up. You'll hear a little bit of a bang when it first starts here. And what we're going to do is we just keep pumping this through the same way. And what will happen is the shaft will go on the inside. Once it goes through, it just falls through. So okay. Now the only problem with this is on occasion the bearing, the edge of the bearing gets caught on the fine thread. So sometimes you have to put a chase in there to straighten the threads out. So that pretty much is it. Takes it off of the shaft. You just pop the seal off with a screwdriver. You can knock that through from the other side, and you can see how the bearings here is all rusted. Which is why we're doing the job in the first place, I would think. Okay. And you have to look here for a groove on the shaft. We'll clean this up, and there's possibly a groove, but if you take it off like this, the water pump shaft doesn't have much of a groove on it. We're going to clean this up on the lathe, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to reuse this as long as this groove here isn't too deep. And in most cases, often you can reuse this. So in my case, I need to take this, which is stuck in the nut here. I need to put something down inside and just take that out. I'm just going to use a piece of aluminum and just tap it with a hammer. It's not on there that hard. In most cases, the thread is going to be okay. And if it wasn't, just wire brush it and get some emery cloth and take the first thread off if it was to be damaged. That said, there is a proper fix for it that we do here. You can actually use a thread chase, which looks like this on the inside, and go all the way around, but in most cases this is not required. So you can just clean this up usually with wire brush and little bit of sandpaper, emery cloth. Yeah, without a lathe. I mean, we do it on the lathe here, clean it up, but you can do this by hand and reuse it. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see this, how well you can see this, but this is basically the shaft here, and normally you can use this shaft over again. But the reason the person was getting the water in this case, is I'm guessing that the bellows was leaking, and looks like salt water got in here, and they must have damaged the seal on the there's two, you can see a seal pattern there. Okay, one is here, okay, right there where the edge of the seal touched, and then there'd be one more which was over here. Well, the one toward the yoke, where you see all the rusting there, must have been damaged, because it's all pitted, and the salt water must have got in there and eaten it. So we're not going to be able to use this. If I clean this up enough to take the damaged part out, it would make the diameter, like sanded this enough or emeryed it, it would have to like take 30 thou off. It would make it way too small, and then the seal would last no time. So it's sad, because the other end of this, the small shaft, is in perfect condition. But this seal here, I think, was damaged installing it by whoever put this together. So the salt water found its way in. Because normally you would see a groove there, but there wouldn't be all this pitting in between here. There would be some pitting here, but not inside the middle. And normally we can just use this and machine it over. We can usually just move the seal over by machining the inside of the bearing retainer. You can move it over 1/16 of an inch, especially when the impeller side is in perfect condition. But there's not much we can do here, so we won't be reusing this one. If this video and the removal helps, do me a favor and click the like button. If you'd like to see the next video, and I guess this would be like a 5-part unit showing how to repair the Cobra uppers. I'll just try and do it in like 5 parts altogether. Just if you want to see the rest, just subscribe and you'll get notified when the next video comes out. Hope this video helps you. And if you have any questions, just there'll be a number at the end of this video, contact number, and you can get a hold of the order desk. And if you have any questions, just ask for the tech service rep, and they'll give you my direct line. Do me a favor, don't text me. I can't type worth a shit, but I definitely know how to use a phone. And sometimes my line might be busy, but just keep phoning till you get through. Have a great day. Bye. Just to go over a couple of things. To remove this, you can do this to remove the seal here. You just put a screwdriver in here and tap it down. Normally comes out fairly easy. And one of the things to remember is this is, I'm going to put the screwdriver down here. Okay, this area here where I took it out of, actually it was leaking. You can see where the corrosion is here, where the water has gone on the outside of the seal. So there was no gasket compound used or no 680 Loctite on the outside when this seal was installed, so that's part of the problem. At any rate, you need to wire brush this and use 680 Loctite before you put the seal in. In our case, we sandblast this. And to take this bearing out here, there's no real trick to it. You just lay it flat, and in our case we use just an aluminum punch. We just catch it on the edge there. You tap it on one side and then tap it on the other side, and you just keep turning this around, and it'll drop out. After you get it to drop about an eighth of an inch there, you'll have to go to an area where it's not flat, so that you know it'll leave the thing, but it comes out relatively easy, no big deal. The other thing is, to remove this bearing, you will need a bearing remover that looks much the same as this. We do carry this. I'll grab one out of stock and get the number for you. Okay, so this unit here, you're going to get the two shafts, 4 nuts, and the 2 sides, and they're I'm not sure if it's all together or apart when you take it out of this box here. Anyway, that's the number, 9150. Let's quickly have a look here and see how they ship it to you. Oh, okay, it's all together. Kind of nice. Not that it's a big deal, but okay, so it's the exact same one I'm using. I guess they've been out for 20 some odd years. Okay, so number 9150, and it's called a universal puller plate. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great day. There is, in order to separate this, I realized that I took it for granted, but you will need something that looks like this. It fits on here like that, inside, so that you can push it through. This comes usually out of a kit. This would be what the kit looks like. I think we sell it under tools on our website of sterndrive.info. Just look it up under tools, OMC tools, under sterndrive.info, and I think they carry this, or it's just a bearing and seal remover. They do sell this at a lot of places, but don't make the mistake of buying the plastic ones. You know, for an extra 30 bucks or something, you can get an aluminum one, which is much better. And I think this is sold by Princess Auto in Canada and Harbor Freight in the United States. Not sure what the pricing is. It's been years since I bought one. But it should be also sold by sterndrive.info as well. So in my case, I'm just going to I have a spacer that I'm using, large spacer. I put the one piece in there so it'll fit inside the bearing. Put this spacer over top of it, and I'm even throwing some more of these bearing underneath there. And then, just so I don't have to pump the cylinder, you need to line this up so that it goes through the bearing, and it will just push this through fairly easy. Everything will fall apart once you get about halfway through. Okay, Probably didn't go all the way through. No, it's about 3/4 of the way through. As you can see, it didn't take much to get it the rest of the way. Okay, so that's the bearing surface there. You want to emery cloth it. In our case, we're gonna sandblast this, but it's in good shape. We'll just sandblast it and can reuse it. That's pretty much it for this for that one shaft. I'll try and do a part 2, maybe 3 or 4 parts for anybody who needs help with this. You can always phone the order desk, and if you get stuck. And if you find that it's way too much, if you've got it half taken apart and you don't have the tools or want to do it after you got it past a certain point, you can always just pack it all up and send it in for us to do the rest of the repair. But it's reasonably easy. It's not a high-tech item taking this apart.